What is up, you guys? How are you? My tribe, my loves. I feel like it's been so long since I've been live, which is really just an exaggeration. How long has it been? It's been like a month or two. Please ignore the dog in the background. Every time I go live, he just goes crazy. I'm going to wait for some of you guys to come in. What's up, YouTube? I'm on live right now on YouTube and on my Facebook channel. I missed you guys. My YouTube family specifically, if you are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, I don't understand what is going on with your life. Like, why are you not subscribed? Why are you not subscribed to De La Soul? I don't understand it. If you want to catch my lives more frequently, that's where you catch me at, is on my YouTube channel, De La Soul. We're going to talk about what I am, okay? What I do, which is what I am. I feel like my guides are just pushing me to have this conversation because they know I don't like talking about this. And I'll start off by saying that I am so appreciative of those of you who will be tuning in, who are tuned in already, who have trusted me with your life, who have trusted me with your mind, with your body, those of you who really get it and who have only questioned me to understand further. I just know that there's this thing showing up for me. It hasn't shown up in a long time, but I know that it's showing up so that I can be more verbal. My clients are always telling me that I don't talk enough about what I do. And I think that there's a lot of misunderstanding about what I do. Hey, what's up? Is that Tori? I'm trying to see. Oh, you gotta go. What is up? Yeah, so let's get into it, y'all, because Lord. Okay, I am a channeler, guys. I am an intuitive, okay? If you haven't seen me talk about this since I was like 4 or 5 years old, as early as I can remember, I like to say extraterrestrials have been talking to me because I don't think I initiated contact with them. I don't remember, but I would assume that I didn't because I was such a small kid. Um, but that has been happening. So my brand, which most of you know, is Earth is School. I did not come up with Earth is School myself. I wish that I had come up with Earth in School, but I used to be told that Earth is School when I was like 5 and 6 years old. It's one of the main messages that my guides would always give me when I was really young. Earth is school, Earth is school, Earth is school. And they would break down to me what that meant. These are things that I could not have fathomed and understood or comprehended, or I shouldn't say comprehend because I did comprehend it at that age, but I couldn't have come up with it myself. So while I like to, give the credit when people hear my brand and they're like, "Oh, that's cool," it's not me. It's us. It's our higher self that came up with that and that gave that to me when I was really young. Um, I am. I be forgetting the clairs, clairvoyant, claircognate, clair. I think it's clair augment. I'm so bad with the labels. I suck at the labels. But whatever is the one where you know shit, okay? Which I feel like is the most difficult one when it comes to like your journey of not knowing how you know stuff. So while I'm an intuitive and extraterrestrials have been speaking to me since I was a child, they're the ones that told me to come here to Senegal. They give me messages all the time. They tell me about what's happening with the world. I can give you guys stories all day, but I'm not going to do that. I'm also a Claire cognitant, whatever the hell that word is, which is the knowing, the knowing of the knowing. Sorry, I gotta run, but I will be back later to watch. You are looking good as usual. Thank you. How are the kids doing? They're doing good. Just love you and all so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. I love the love. Yeah, if you guys are just tuning in, I am talking about what I am, okay? What I am and what I do. I have just been being pushed to do this. I was saying that I'm so thankful for those of you watching this who have trusted me with your life and trusted me with your body, with your mind, depending on what it is that you hired me to do. But there's just a lot of misunderstanding. And I know it's because I don't talk about me enough. I don't like to tell what I do. I like for people to just know. And I like for if I'm supposed to help you, then I am. If I ain't, then I ain't. That's really my method of doing everything. But I know that my guides, um, they're putting a stop to this, man. Like I'm having to really force myself. Like I'm having to really be verbal about this. So I'm going to do like this challenge where I'm going to talk about what I do in the depths of what I do for like the next 30 days. I probably won't be going live talking about it, but I'm going to mention these things because honestly, it is a lot. It's a lot in one thing. Um, Technically, I only do two things, but as far as like what pays my bills, okay, I get a lot of emails about like how do I pay my bills, like what is my income, stuff like that. And then people that think they know my service, people think that they know what I do, and I get the contrast of people like coming in like assuming and like telling me what I do, telling me what I'm worth and things like that. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen. And I think the frustration that I feel from that is only coming because I am being pushed to speak about it more. Okay. If you're just tuning in, that's what we're talking about. So, starting off with me being a channeler, most of you guys know by now that I have been speaking to extraterrestrials since I was a child. I just mentioned how my brand, Earth is School, is not something that I came up with. Most of you guys see me saying Earth is School. You've seen me saying this for years. So, that's something that my guides gave to me when I was a child. You can call me crazy if you want, that's fine. I guess I am. If I'm 5 years old talking to extraterrestrials, I'm okay with that label. But that's what it is. Sometimes I hear people's thoughts, and that's something that I really don't like. I don't want that gift. I do not. I have already had a very multiple clear discussions about me not wanting to know people's thoughts because it is not fun to know what people are thinking. I know that sounds like a gift that somebody would want, but you don't want that. And I've had enough episodes in my life to know that I don't need that one. But just to kind of break down what type of intuitive or channeler that I am. So the other thing, I'm going to start off with my birth work because I know there's some confusion about that. So I am a painless spiritual midwife. Okay. Painless spiritual midwife. Y'all love these labels. I hate all of this shit. I wish I could just be like, I'm me. I'm here. I am in existence. And this is what I do. And I wish you could just feel it. And I just wish that if you felt compelled for me to assist you, then we could just do it. But I'm in this realm of labels, and I got to go with labels. So spiritual midwifery. I know that there are some misconceptions about what a midwife is. Real quick, let's do a real quick crash course. A midwife was never specifically the woman that just helped with births. That was never what a midwife actually started off as. A midwife is a woman that holds spaces for other women. If you really do the research, that is the definition of a midwife, a woman that holds spaces for other women. Now, if we go back to when the term midwifery came into play, and even before then, when people didn't have necessarily the label on it, a midwife was the woman that was like the medicine woman. She was the one that was healing the people, whether you were a woman or a man or a child. She was also the one that was doing the births and delivering children, catching the children, the babies, and she was just assisting with it all around. I definitely go by that definition, and I was not trained professionally to do this when I started. I did end up going to school for it because this is what we got to do. But I've done this in multiple lives, and when I got into doing this, I did not want to do it. Okay, this is not. I wasn't one of those birth workers and midwives who this is like a dream that I found and I got really into it and I was like, oh my God, I want to pursue this. Not at all. I actually ran from this. I did not want to do this. I ran from it for a few years. And to make a long story short, my own birth experience is what showed me that I can do this. I do this with giving birth without pain. That is the only type of birth that I do. I got to be clear on this. This is the reason why I'm live right now. I'm not talking about helping women give birth when they feel a little bit of pain or when they're managing their pain. I do not train women to manage their pain. We don't do that. We don't do managing. I train women to go inside of their brain and literally change their brain receptors to where they no longer feel pain at all. They feel like a light pressure, maybe, or literally pleasure. I got to be clear on this because it's like, when I'm normally speaking to adults that are very limited in our belief. Y'all don't believe no more. So when I first started doing this, again, not wanting to, and when I made my business cards to be able to explain this to people, I would literally get people laughing at me. Like I would literally hand my card to people and people would laugh and be like, there's no way that you can do that. So that's really where it started. And I hated it. I was like, I don't want to do this. And things just kept showing up like forcing me to do this. I could hear my guide saying, you have to do this. This is a part of your journey. And I didn't understand how I even knew how to do this. That was another thing that really was like kind of messing with me because I was like, how would I know? How do I know the exact method? How do I know exactly what to do? How do I know all these different details of the process and things? I understood that it wasn't coming from me, but again, we're living in a world where you can't really talk about this and where this is not really normal and everybody is like everybody just thinks they know. It's like, oh, this is a hypnobirth. Oh, you mean that you do this? Oh, you mean no, I mean exactly what the fuck I'm saying. Exactly what I'm saying is exactly what I mean. So it's just been a long journey of like, and again, I'm so appreciative of you guys who understand me and who like are open, even if you don't really understand, but you're asking questions to understand, but not trying to like change what I do or like tell me what I'm doing or like put these like projections and limitations because again, this is not something that I really even wanted to do. Like I'd rather be in my room just like dancing and like getting paid to just like be me so I could just like pay my bills and like do shit with my kids. Like I don't really want to do any of this, you know? I don't want to do readings on people. I don't want to do the past life thing. I kind of do want to do that. But at the same time, I love this though. I definitely love the experience of helping others. Of it's so important to me that I am doing my part in bringing down the infant mortality rate, helping for women to find their power and knowing that we really don't have to give birth with a bunch of pain and it take a long time and we be in labor for a whole day. That part, like the result of what I do is what I do it for. On top of my guys letting me know that if you don't do this, we're gonna make you think that you're crazy. We're gonna really like fuck with you. If any of you guys have been on this spiritual journey and you've been running from your purpose, then you kind of know what I mean. I got stories for days about that. So that's it there, I believe. When it comes to my birth work, it is me um it is me training women on how to give birth without pain. And I do that, all the things that I do, it's the same method. I take people into another brainwave. You have your alpha, your beta, your theta, and your delta brainwaves. And I literally switch your brainwave over to another frequency where you can give birth without pain. Matter of fact, let me just give y'all a chart right now. Let's make this real simple and clear. Hold on. If I can even find it, let me see. Let me see if I can just find this and I'm just going to like, let's make this real clear. Let's do a real short course, okay? This is the chart that I use. Whether I'm teaching people about how to give birth without pain or whether I'm training and like literally intuitively assisting people, coaching them, taking them into past lives, it doesn't matter. It's all the same thing. This is the basis of what I do. This is what your brain is, okay? So as you can see up here, this is where you are right now. You're in beta mode. So this is physical world, sight, sound, smell. This is while you are taking in this information, you're in this mode right here. In between these two modes, alpha and theta, as you can see, it's the spiritual realm. It's so hard to like point at the other angle, but you can see it's the spiritual realm. So even right here, it says these levels are for painless surgery, dentistry, and childbirth. Okay. I didn't know about this chart. When I had my own painless birth and I literally had an outer body experience where I was giving birth to my baby and I was also in my kids' room and also in the living room and also walking down the hallway. This was an experience that I did not know that I was going to have. It would be a whole year or almost 2 years before I would find this chart and know that this was an actual thing. So that's just to kind of give you guys an understanding of how I came about this. It's not something that I was like seeking and I'm like, oh my God, let me go find out how to do this work. It's something that really came to me. So you can't change it, okay? You can't tell me what I do, okay? So you can see that between theta and alpha, this is where I take people. If I'm doing like a very simple alpha meditation, it's not meditation at all, but I have to use these terms because it's the only terms that people can really understand. If I say hypnosis, then you guys are going to get scared and you think you know hypnosis. So then you're going to be like, "Oh my God, you're hypnotizing me." If I say meditation, then people are like, "Oh, meditation is just so you can calm down your body. It's not really da 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 da." You see, you see how frustrating it can be because adults really think they know. And again, not all the time. I don't deal with this all the time. I would not be doing any of this if I dealt with this all the time. But every once in a while, too many times, is there a total misunderstanding. And that's not y'all's fault. It's my fault. Okay. I'm just not talking about what I do enough. So here, delta mode, unconscious mode, this is when you're asleep. You do this 2 times a day or more if you're taking naps. Every single day, you go from your delta, theta, alpha to beta, where you are right now. This is your flight and fight mode, your survival mode, your overthinking mode. This is where most of us are all the time, even in our sleep, which is ridiculous because you're supposed to be here. But this is it, okay? Um, I'm sorry, let me read the comments. I just don't have a lot of money. I have this kids I'm carrying. I need services. Okay, I like this comment. I just don't have a lot of money. I have 6 kids I'm caring for. Homeless. I am definitely sending you strength, love, and acceptance because I can only imagine. Oh shoot, I'm sorry. I can only imagine what your day is like what how you're feeling and where you're at. I love the transparency. If you guys want my service and you don't have all the money to take to get my service, please inbox me. I'm not saying that I'm going to do this and do that, but just communicate. Just communicate with me because this is not about money. I get money. This is how I pay my bills, but it's not about that. It's not about money, and whatever happens is supposed to happen. So I don't want to make promises, but I do want you to reach out to me. I do want you to not avoid communicating with me because honestly, that's what I teach. I teach not to allow for the limiting reality that you think that you're in for that to be what you end how you end up moving, for you to do the opposite. So pretend like you got the money and reach out to me. Talk to me. Let's have a conversation. We can figure something out. But definitely don't there's a lot of people even with my birth service that will like not communicate properly with me and will like hit me up at the very last minute, like in the hospital, bleeding out. Oh my God, we don't know what to do. If only you can help. Like, why didn't we could have talked about this? Like, I can't help you now. Now I'm just stressed out because I'm passionate about what I do and I can't really help you. So I'm definitely one that you can communicate with and we can figure out something. um I can't tell if you're on my YouTube channel. I think you might be on my YouTube channel. You can message me through my website, earthisschool.com. And also you can DM me too. On my YouTube channel, my Instagram is there. I am underscore Lala with a H too. That's just too complicated. So go to earthisschool.com and just message me. Hey, what is up, Still Waters moving? It's been so long. I feel like it's been like 2 months since I've seen y'all, since I've been on live on my YouTube. So yeah, definitely communicate with me, please. I am a real person. I am not on celebrity status where somebody else is checking my messages. So just reach out. You're so welcome. and 6 kids. Ooh, mm. I can just imagine, most definitely. And I even want to do something where I want to put together like this, like this mass meditation for people that might not be in the space where you necessarily have money, but maybe you can give a certain amount or something like that. So I just posted about that a few days ago, and I had some people respond in the comments because I get it, and everything happens how it's supposed to. So we'll see what happens. So yeah, if you guys are just tuning in, I'm talking about what I do. I am breaking down the myths and the control that adults try to have on me because they don't understand. So, going from my midwifery of painless birth, let's get into the real, like, that sounds deep, but that's not even deep. Even though it's so deep, that's not even deep. When I am providing my service of intuitive coaching and I'm doing this meditation, let me break this down real quick because I'm sure that one day I'm going to find another way to say this. But right now, and how it's been for the last few years, I am I'm trying to put words on what this is without being too like, if I say psychoneurology, then that's exactly what I do and that makes sense. But I can't say that. And if I say meditation, then you guys are going to think that this is just about calming down your body. And if I say hypnosis, again, you guys are just going to, you got to think that I'm trying to hypnotize you. So it's a lot of confusion when people are trying to hire me for like group things and like retreats and stuff like that because they think that they know what it is. If you read my reviews, I post my reviews. I'm so big, like I really try to make my business be the reviews because that's just real and that's just raw. And to me, that tells you everything outside of the titles. If I could call this like nothing, I would want to call it nothing. Get a nothing session with me. Like that's how like far removed I am from labels. Okay. When people ask me like what's your belief? Are you spiritual? I'm nothing. I'm just I am. I'm not spiritual. I don't want any of that. So you can imagine my frustration when someone is like, oh well, maybe the meditation is and I'm like, bruh, like did you read what it say on the website? Because when people are having this experience with me and they are going into other lives or they're going inside of their mother's womb and they become their own psychic telling me what their mother was feeling at the time that she was carrying them, or when a person is coming to me because they want to manifest something and while we're literally doing the session that thing is manifesting. This is all people's stories that are on my website. This is not meditation. It's just not meditation. If it was, then what the hell? Like we would just all be doing it and it would just be like super simple. This is me taking you into an alternative brain wave. So people have had like uterine bleeding that just stopped immediately with one session. It's just, it's not meditation. It's so much deeper than that. This is quantum physics. And that's what I break down and teach to my clients is that this is quantum physics. It's not meditation at all. Um, please let me know if y'all have any questions while we're here. Oh, let me check these comments right quick too. Mhm. I have to look at my my Facebook for the other comments. So if you're commenting on Facebook and I'm not responding, then I'm not ignoring you. I just have no idea how to do this on my laptop. So okay. The alpha meditation, when you go to my website, you're going to see that I think I'm calling it alpha meditation, which is just so difficult to say because, again, then you think of meditation and you're like, what is alpha? You don't know what alpha is. So then it's a whole thing. I do have this same chart on my website because I try to like help people connect the dots on that. So my alpha meditation sessions, they normally start off with a coaching session. When I am coaching people, I am using my guides. So before every single session, it doesn't matter what we're talking about, I am sitting with myself, I'm speaking to my guides. It is a very deep spiritual moment. I am bringing in your guides and I am introducing us all to each other. This is before I get on the call with every single body that I ever talk to. It doesn't matter what thing that they're, you know, what service that they're getting from me. And I speak to your guides and I have us connect. I say hello and I let them know what is happening. I open up your mind. Some people have even told me that they felt like when we get on the phone, they're like, I felt like my heart opened up right before you called. I felt like my mind was like expanded and things like this. So this is a real situation, okay? Like it's a real situation, okay? And so we have a normal conversation. We talk just like, and this is also explained on my website. We talk just like we're talking. It's very non-judgmental. People will tell you this might be somewhere on my website too. I am completely unbiased and completely far removed from the judgment of things. Unless you're gonna tell me that you like graped somebody, I'm using code. I might have to do some adjustments to accept that, but obviously you come into me for me to help you with that. But I don't have any like limitations on like, oh, you did this, you did that. So it's a very open conversation. And then from that conversation, while you're speaking, my guides are telling me things. They're giving me downloads. They're telling me this person needs to do this. This person has a auntie that's doing this. This person, yada, 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 yada. When you get done speaking, I share with you what my guides share with me. Sometimes it feels like a normal conversation and sometimes it doesn't, or I should say at moments it doesn't for sure. And I mean like a normal conversation with me. It doesn't always feel like that because obviously I'm using my guides to share what is needed, right? And then after that, now this is talking about my alpha um, session service, okay? After that, we end the call with an alpha meditation. This is where I'm taking you, not on this brainwave. This is going really deep. I'm taking you here. This is really still a really important place, okay? This is really important. This is the spiritual world. There is no time or space. The last client I had, which was last Thursday, she does like a 4-week session with me. So she comes to me in 4-week increments and we do it. So this might even be like, if that's the case, this could be like her 12th, maybe 10th session with me or something. And she skipped like a whole month and a half. So she hasn't had this in a minute. It's been a month and a half, almost 2 months. And then we did the session on Thursday. And this is just I know this is extreme. If y'all look at my reviews, people are a little bit extra. And I try to tell people, don't be so extra where it looks like I'm doing something like some voodoo type of situation. But I understand like the passion, and I also understand people not really being able to describe what they experience. You will see that if you go to my website, you will see people saying in the reviews, I don't really know what this is, but I know it was something. And then they'll explain like, their response and everything that happened and stuff. So this client told me, shout out to you, sis, if she's in here, if she ends up coming on my YouTube because she watches my channel a lot. She was like, if if you would have went 10 more minutes, she said, if we would have went 10 more minutes, I feel like I would have died a happy death. I'm like, okay, don't ever tell nobody that you did a session with me and that's what you feel, because that could sound scary to people. But what she's saying is that it was really deep. And this is why I'm so adamant. I'm almost at the point where I'm like about to get offended. Like, don't call what I do meditation. If I'm telling you that I use this same method to take people into past lives and to speak to their deceased loved ones, you can't possibly think this is meditation. I know you don't know what it is, but if you don't hear me saying that that's what that is, then say what I'm saying that it is. Like, don't be like, oh, well, that's just, calming people's bodies down, because that's what you know about meditation and you don't know anything of how I could be doing this. That's understandable. I don't even know. Well, I do know, but I didn't try to start doing this. I didn't like go and find out how I could learn how to do this stuff. I've never been trained to take people into past lives. The first people that I took into another life was my children. I don't think a lot of people know that, but the first people that I've ever done past life regression on was all of my kids. all except for my last child. And I've done this in a lot of different lives. I've never had a past life regression on myself. I mean, like myself, I don't even know what it's like to have a regression. So I'm doing it for hundreds of people, but I don't even know what it's like because I haven't had anyone do it for me. What I have had and what I do have is memory of my other lives. I have memory of my other lives and I have experiences where I can feel other lives like almost like colliding into others. So like I could tell I knew that I had done the birth work in another life. I knew that I had done this work where it's kind of like a neuroscience work on people's minds in other lives. Now, I've had people that can go into the Akashic records that have confirmed this for me. All my friends are readers and psychics, so the confirmation is there. But I have not been able to literally like go under, and go into another life to see these things. I just have memory of them in this life. So what I do when it comes to going in, like going away from the alpha meditation, but then going into the MDR session. So I named it MDR because it stands for multi-dimensional regression. Multi-dimensional regression. I didn't want to call it past life regression because that would be false. If I'm saying past life regression, that would be under definition of that, it would mean that I'm just taking you into your past life. But what's actually happening in every single session is I'm starting off by taking you into your memories in this life. So, ooh, even just like, give me one second. This place is so dusty, y'all. So when y'all be seeing me talk on here, and my throat is kind of itchy because certain seasons, the dust is crazy. Hold on one second. Hey, pour me some water, please. Yeah, if y'all plan on moving to Senegal, get ready for the dust life because it's going to be in your throat. I have a nebulizer that I use, and we do these treatments for the kids so that we can get the dust out of their throat. And I just say that it builds up the immune system because these Africans is strong and healthy. So and they're used to it. I think we're still adjusting a little bit. But anyway, so we start off by um going into the memories of this life. So I will go into like no further than like 5 years ago, right? Random ass memory that just comes up. You tell me about it while I have you under, and you are in this brainwave. You're in theta, right? So we're no longer doing alpha. I'm taking you deeper, and you're in theta. This is where it says the levels for painless surgery and childbirth. Let me see. Thank you, dear. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm-mm-mm. You gonna knock the fan over? What's up, Coast? How can I help you? As soon as I'm finished, you can have some. Nope, not now. When I'm finished with this live, you can have some. And Costa, no, you hear me? Okay. Because I'm doing live. Okay, see you later. See you later. And Costa, no, I need you to step out. You about to mess up this whole scenario I got over there. Okay, y'all. Coast needs me to physically escort him out. Give me a second. If y'all see me live on YouTube, then you know this is normal life. Coast, listen, I should have told you I'm on live. I'm recording. Okay, shut the door. Ooh, it's hot. All right, so getting back into it. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't tell my kids like, don't come to the door. I'm on live. You can't say a word to me. So y'all just gotta, if you're not used to this, you just gotta go with the flow. Thank you. Okay, so getting back into it. I take you into a memory from about the last 5 years, right? After that, we go deeper, we go further. We go into when you were in your 20s, when you were 12 and 10, when you were 3 and you were 2. Once we get to about age 2 or 1, I take you into your mother's womb. If you guys haven't seen already, you can see this on some videos. I have like 5 videos up, but I don't edit enough. It's just a lot. Me editing like for my channel, the videos that I do, and then also editing these sessions, it's a lot. So I don't have enough. I shouldn't say I don't have enough, but I don't have a lot of videos on there. But there's enough for you to be able to see the session and how it goes. So if you've watched any of those videos, you can see that during this time that people go into their mother's womb, they become psychic. You can see it, like it's right there in the video. People all of a sudden know what their mothers are feeling and thinking. They know why they chose their mothers. They know why they chose their fathers, and they're able to articulate and report and explain all of that. So we do that for a little bit. And after we do that, then we go into a past life. So I only take people into the most significant lives that impact them the most. I think that's another important thing that I'm supposed to mention on this live, is that because some people don't know, like, what's the purpose of this. I feel like people hear this and they're just like, okay, so what's the point of you doing this? And it's a lot of points. It's a lot of reasons. It's a lot of things that people get out of one session. So you are able to see the things that have been holding you back, certain fears that you have, certain strongholds that you have, and you basically are able to experience them in that life and then release them. I would say that's like the first main thing. Another thing is that you learn that there's no such thing as you not having a memory of something. You understand that you are consciousness. And I don't have to explain this to you. You don't have to read a book and try to convince yourself, because you're the one experiencing it. How did you remember what it was like to be in your mom's womb? How, like, those kind of things can't be like explained, because you're the one that's telling me what's happening. You are going back in your memory when you were 2 years old, when you took your first steps. Like, it can't be like there's no mumbo jumbo hoopla stuff about it. It's just right here, like. So I think that that's a really important aspect of this, because then people understand that, just like how neuroscientists say that we dream every single night. Every single person has a dream every single night. Whether you recall that dream or not is something different. But it just can kind of help you to understand that there's nothing that you ever really truly forget in any life. It shows you how, if you guys have ever seen me talk about how your thoughts are not actually yours. The majority of your thoughts, I would say anywhere between 80 to 90% of your thoughts, don't come from you. They come from your deceased loved ones, they come from your guides. I know this sounds like so crazy to some people, but think about it. Your thoughts are not like a tangible physical thing that you can hold. Things that are here and that are from this matrix and this planet are things that are tangible and you can hold. We all can agree, no matter what you believe in, that things that you can't see, things that come in frequency, does not originate from this realm. A thought is not a tangible physical thing. So it doesn't come from here. Your brain comes from here. Your brain is physical, but your actual soul that sits inside of your brain, that, like, the seat of the soul that holds your consciousness, that holds your memories, that's not from here. And that's what we're tapping into when we're doing this. Another thing, and this doesn't matter if it's the alpha meditation or if it's the MDR session, is that I am stretching your subconscious mind. So a lot of people come to me and they're like, I don't think I can really do this, because when I try to meditate, it's hard, or, I did this 6-week course of meditation and it didn't work, and yada, yada, yada. But it's not about any of that, because this is not meditation. This is not meditation. This is me taking you into another brainwave frequency. Meditation does not help people give birth without pain. Meditation does not help you speak to your deceased loved ones. It doesn't do that. Meditation is for you to calm your body down. We got to be real clear on this because of the misconception of what this is and what that is, you know? So, yeah, you get to understand that you can do that, that your subconscious can be stretched. And you also get to see that when your subconscious is stretched, when that muscle, that brain muscle is actually worked out, you begin to remember things from this life and the other lives. We're not going into like past lives for real. We're going into the memory of the past life. We're time traveling into that memory. So people will say, "Oh wow, I remember this. Like this was a so and so, you know, kind of thing." Let me check some comments before I go forward. Yes. Um, Let me see. I think I do have my, this is my Cash App. Yeah, it is. Thank you so much. Here is my Cash App. So let's see what else. Going from the session, I mean, going from the birth, right? I mean the womb. So you're in the womb, from your mother's womb. After I feel like you I can tell when someone's like psychic psychic tree, because we're all psychics. I can tell when it's come through because in this moment you just feel everything and you just know what everybody is feeling. And so after that is when we're ready to go into another life. So I take you into the lives that are most impactful from this one. Like what lives are significantly impacting you in this realm. And you'll hear me say this during the session. You hear me say, let's go to the life that most impacts you when I'm directing your subconscious. So we go there and you can experience anything from being from 800 AD to 1760 to I had a client the other day. I think it was like a progression. Like I don't think we went in the past. I think we went to the future. It was like 97 something. It was crazy. But I don't never know what's going to happen. I don't do any kind of like manipulating what it's going to be. I'm just here. I'm just being the vessel. All of my practices, I'm so big on that because I didn't learn how to do this stuff the traditional way. Again, I've never went to school. I never got a day of training. My training started on me taking my 11-year-old into a past life. This is how it started. So my training has been from my guides. That's the only kind of um, training that I've received, and so that kind of makes it where you come in a different way. I'm very much about waiting and listening and not forcing anything, and very much about whatever comes out is what it's supposed to be. That kind of thing. The way this is like the way this dust is getting to me is starting to. Okay, so from the past life. Now we go into my favorite part. This is when the show really starts. I mean, the past life is cool too, though. The past life is like I'm in there. Like it's like this is like an exciting travel, like time travel for me, guys. Like I'm on the other side, and you can see in the videos, I'm like comfortable. Like I'm not your traditional regressioner. I'm just not. I just can't be sitting there trying to look all professional and all like, okay, yes. And what's next? Nah, I'm chilling. I'm chilling. I'm like, wow, like for real, like I'm a real person, y'all. It's so hard for me to be fake. Like it's just too hard for me. I can't like whatever this brings me is whatever it's supposed to bring me, but I can't be trying to be somebody that I'm not. That's why I don't have a business page. Whoever you get, whatever version of me that you get is you're just going to have to get all of it. Whether you are on my Instagram or my YouTube or my Facebook, I'm not switching it up for you. You know, like it doesn't matter if I'm in a space where I'm talking to a stripper or a prostitute or I'm talking to somebody who is like a really good friend to me, like Dr. Kaba Hiawatha Kamene, who has much love and respect for me and knows who I am and what I do. I'm not switching it. Like I can't. So don't be expecting that of me. I'm not gonna be what you want me to be if that's what you want me to be. Okay. So after that, we go into your death. We go through your death scene. Unless I feel like we need to go into another past life. It seems like most of my sessions, we do 2 lives. Sometimes the first life is just so impactful and there's so many things that come out that I know there's no need to do another one. And then other times there's like, okay, let's, we got some good stuff there, but let's go into another one. So I don't think I've done three lives. I think on my kids I have, just because I'm like training and kind of going through stuff. But I mean, going through the motions of stuff, right? Um, yeah, I don't think I really have done 3 with a client. So we normally do 1 or 2 lives. And then after that, we go into your death scene. So this is so cool to me, guys, because it just takes away all the bullshit, all of the debating about what this is. Oh, we only live once and yada, yada, yada. Like, you going into your death scene, people literally go, like, this is what happens. My clients go from, like, let's say that someone is like on their deathbed and their family is around them and they're really worried about their children and what they're going to do when they leave them and all this stuff. And you transition through your death, and they literally go from all of this physical like emotions and anger and resentment, and the other side, they're just like, oh, it's okay. They're just like, everybody is fine, and I'm just going to feel joy and love. So they always feel this feeling of love and joy that takes over them. When I ask them how they feel now that they've transitioned, when we transition in every life, when you die in every life, your soul either hovers over your body on the top, or you're somewhere in a corner. So if you look at people's NDE stories, people's near death stories, these are people that are not paid actors. They have anybody from the age 10 years old, younger than that, to old people telling their stories about times when they almost died. And when you watch these stories, you're going to see the exact same thing that happens in my MDR sessions. They die, and then their souls hover over them. So that's what happens in the sessions. I say, where is your body at now? I mean, where is your soul at now? And they'll tell me either of those 2 things. I ask you if you felt like you lived this life like fully, like if you have a fulfilled life, and if you have any resentment or any regrets. If you say yes, you do, then we go through those things and we release those things so that they no longer affect you in this life. And they affect you in this life, guys. A lot of the stuff that you guys have been like getting counseling for years, and you're just like, why can't I get over this? It's because it has nothing to do with this realm, or a little bit, but it really has to do with the other realms that you're in. And we release that, right? So after that, I allow them to go up. I say, let's go. We're going to go on this journey. Allow for your soul to move up into the air, and your soul team is going to take over. Now, this part I love because I don't say nothing. I just let it happen, and it's just so fucking cool. Like, people will describe that they see like either a lot of light or darkness, and they see these stars. Like, there's these stars that come in. And when I hear this, I know for a fact, okay, they're there, and now I don't have to do any more guiding. Their soul team is going to take over. Um, the stars that people see during these sessions, which is the same stars that people describe when they have their near death experiences, they are your guides. They are who you really are. You are really a light. I think we all can agree that you're not your flesh and you're not your bones. I think that it doesn't matter what you believe in, you kind of know that when you die, your flesh and your bones are not going with you, right? So then what is that inside of you? It's a light. It's a ball of literal energy and light. And so when they go into this part of the session, they see the light. They see all these lights. Um, Sometimes it kind of depends. Like, somebody can have like a lot of people that are greeting them. So there's like when I say people, I mean souls, but a lot of lights. Sometimes if you see like a bigger light, it's like a more advanced soul. The smaller lights, depending on the colors, it can be like a newer soul, a soul that's not as advanced, things like that. So we go through that. People start to speed up. So once they get to a certain section of this soul realm, they notice that there's like a vortex like pulling them somewhere, and they'll be like the session I did yesterday on my cousin. And he was like, and this was so cute. I can't wait to share this. I did a session on my little cousin, It might have been the most amazing session I ever did because my Aunt Denise, which is the woman who raised me for the first half of my life, she is so much of why I am the type of mother that I am. Like we had our own like personal Claire Huxtable, and may she continue to travel in peace and to be amongst us because she so is. And it was just the cutest thing. He was like, because this is my cousin, like he's like my little brother, you know. So we're in the session, and he's like, I don't know about this, Dayla. He's like, this is getting weird, man. Like I'm like, it's okay. Like he was like, I'm starting to feel lost. I don't know, Dayla. I'm like, nope, you're not lost. You're so found right now. Like you're so found. Just let go, you know? So he lets go, and like everybody else, they go into this speedy, like, I don't know, it's like a vortex or something. And then they make it to the other side. And this is where your soul team is. So this is where you actually can see who was that light. You see whoever has passed away, your whole soul team is there. So like for my cousin, before my cousin was born, his mom had a miscarriage. That baby was there. Obviously, his mom, who passed away last year, she was there. So that kind of thing. You're going to see your loved ones there. I would honestly say that there's so many different levels, and it's just so deep on what a person can get from this. I almost can't measure like what is bigger, like if one thing is bigger than the other. But I will say that the how do I even say this? Like the gratitude that I get from, or the satisfaction that I get from having a client who, like, let's say that like their husband passed away, and you know, if any of you guys have a close loved one that passed away, a lot of you guys may understand how frustrating it can be when you want to see that person. Like you want to see them in your dreams, you want them to come to you, you want to feel them. And sometimes you have other family members or friends who do have those experiences. And you're kind of like, damn, like, you know, this was my husband. Like, why isn't he coming to me? Or how come I'm seeing him in a dream, but his face is blurred out, or certain things like that. So I would honestly say that for me, the satisfaction that I get from witnessing a client who has needed to fill that void, like needed that confirmation, it's gonna make me emotional, y'all, because I'll be about to cry. Like that's why I say, like, I'm not a normal regressionist. Like they be so detached from their clients, and I be so invested, like crying with them and stuff. Like, but oh my God, it's just amazing because I can't think of anything deeper than this. Like I can't think of anything in this realm deeper than you being alive and being able to experience your death and being able to see that none of this shit even matters. And then like you get to really talk to your loved ones. Like I had a client who I'm giving that example because it's a real example. And she wanted to see her husband, and it happened years, and she couldn't see him. And for the first time in years, she heard him laugh. She hugged him. And it's like just the emotions that come over. I cannot think of anything that could be like more satisfactory for what I do than like seeing people get that closure. Like I really hope that when it's my turn to experience like my parents passing, or my children, like I hope that somebody can give this experience for me, because if you've grieved, if you've experienced grieving, then you know that this is deep. Like there's nothing deeper than that. Like you really want to see your loved ones, and to be able to give people, to be able to assist with source, giving people an experience where they get to see their loved ones and they get to get answers from them. And again, this is so cool, guys, because I'm not reading people. I can read you. That is also a service that is available, but I don't even want to have to. Like I want you to be your own reader. So to watch people transform into their own psychic, this is not something that you can like, no one can tell you that you didn't do this. No one can tell you that your cousin, that you've been not been able to cope with them leaving and them coming through and answering all your questions for you. You want to know what you want to do next and what you should do with this person, this relationship. I'm not telling you shit. You're telling me, because you got to answer out loud what they're telling you so I can write it down. That's the only way that we can get the information. That's deep. Like, what? Like, it don't get no deeper than this, like, for real. And I know I don't talk about this enough. This is why I'm on this live doing this now. This is why I'm challenging myself to talk about what I do a lot more. But it's just so amazing, man. Like, yesterday's session was, oh my God, I can't wait to share it. It was really, really deep. My auntie came through and she was just like, thank you for doing this. She was like, thank you for doing this work for people. It was just deep. It was just a lot. And if you guys can kind of understand, like, for me, it's a big deal because, again, I never did any past life regression myself. I don't know what that's like. I have to ask people. I'm asking my friends, like, hey, what was it like when I took you into a past life? Because I haven't had anybody to do it on me. And when I had someone try, it didn't really work. So, me having to come to acceptance that I can do something that I was never trained to do in this realm and that I've never done myself, the level of trust that you have to have in yourself is like, it's not here. Like, it's out of this world. The level of trust that I've had to gain in myself to be like, am I talking to myself? Like, am I really even doing this? Like, this person, like, I'm thinking that I'm just doing like a simple, like, I know I'm not doing nothing simple. I know it's not simple, but I'm thinking that I'm just taking someone into an alternative brain state, and then they're like, they're speaking and they're telling me that they're seeing this stuff and that their loved one came to them, and like, for me to not have been trained on it and to have to accept that I am doing this. This is real. We live in a world where everything is about like certificates and like how many hours of training did you do and stuff like that. So people don't do this work and don't without paying $5,000 without with for someone to train them. So just to kind of give you guys an idea of why I don't talk about it that much, I kind of just like to share the little bits and pieces, and I kind of just I just rather you guys to feel it, and if you feel it, then you come to me, and that's what has been happening for years. But I do understand that my guides are like, that's enough, like, you gotta talk, like, I do understand that. I accept that challenge. But yeah, I really wanted to explain this to you guys. And again, I really appreciate you guys who have trusted me with your heart, with your mind, with your manifesting, with your body. Those of you that have hired me to do your painless birth and stuff like that. But this was needed, you guys. There's a lot of misunderstandings. I do meditations. If you guys seen like last month or the month before, I had like a meditation thing. It was like I was sharing some flyers, which I also don't like to do at all. It is not fun for me to advertise. It is okay. If I can explain it, it's this. Okay. That's how much I don't like to advertise myself. That was a meditation. If I say meditation, I'm saying meditation. If I'm saying that I'm taking you into an alternative brain wave, that's what the hell I mean. Okay. I'm not saying that I'm doing this and I'm doing something else. If I'm saying that I am training you, that I can train you to give birth without pain, I'm not saying that you're going to learn how to manage your pain. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it's not going to be pain. I'm saying what I'm saying, and I'm meaning what I'm saying, and I'm saying what I'm meaning, and that's what it is. Okay. And if you go to my site, Earth is School, then you can read the reviews. I think that reviews are like the best thing. Like, just without me even explaining anything, I think that reviews tell you everything you need to know. And I also have some Q&As on there too to help people understand. Hmm. I love this. I need to manifest. How can you help me? Absolutely. First of all, let me say that you're already manifesting. There's such a huge misconception about what manifesting is. This is also like, it's just like, guys, I try not to get caught up on these terms. I wish I did a really good video. You should watch my video on manifesting. Let me see what this video is called so I can, please watch my video. If you're trying to manifest something and you feel like you've been doing like your affirmations and it hasn't really been working, please watch this video. Let me go real quick to show you, because I be dropping them jewels, y'all, and it ain't me. Okay? It's not me. Let me also break something down when it comes to my channeling that I don't like to explain, but I'm being forced to. Um, um, my my expression of channeling started off with me writing. Of course, it started off in my head, like I talked about when I was younger, or in my heart when I was a real little girl. That's how it really started. But with me sharing it with the world, I started to share it through my writing. So if you've been here with me for the last 11, 13 years, you know that I make long posts a lot of times. Sometimes the channeling is not always long, but I do long posts. And when I'm doing these posts, often I would say over 75%, like just over 75% of the things that I post is not me. Okay? I'm confessing that now. It is not me. It is not just me. Let me say that. Scratch what I just said so y'all don't get too spooked and creeped out, right? It is me, y'all. I'm not being possessed, but it's not just me. And it took me a little minute to realize that when I would go back and I would read it, I'm always amazed. I'm like, oh my God, like this was deep. Like, who wrote this? Like, I'm always like, wow, like this is crazy. Like, there's no way I could have came up with this. So you guys will see that in a lot of my videos, the stuff that I'm sharing, like even one time, if y'all were watching my podcast, the Earth is School podcast last year, I was going live every single day doing the podcast. And some people will be like, how the hell did you come up with a topic every single day? I'm not coming up with it. It's not me. I am literally getting the download that this is what needs to be talked about. And normally it was happening right before I went live, which I like because then I'm not like thinking about it. I'm not like trying to write stuff down and trying to figure it out and stuff. There's no ego involved. So my practice is just very, very raw. My videos that I share is very raw. It's very much me not trying to like manipulate things and trying to go this way or that way with things. I just want everything to be like unforced and just divine. Like I know that sounds corny, but so going back to what you asked, the question, let me see. It's just a book. I mean, it's just a video on manifesting, but I dropped some really deep stuff in there. People don't know this. Okay, right. So this one is called What No One Tells You About Manifesting Your Desires. If you haven't watched it, please go back and watch the video because I think that the first thing people need to understand about manifesting is like we got to get away from what the last like 10 years have taught us. Like since the awakening of 2012, when people started making videos and doing YouTube stuff about manifesting, we get this concept that you have to try to manifest, like that there's something that you have to do to manifest. Like you got to write stuff down and you got to like do your visualizing and things like that. But the truth is that you're always manifesting. There's never a second. There is not 1 second of a millisecond of a moment of a time of a minute of an hour of a second that you're not manifesting. It is always happening. So a lot of my practice, and you'll see this a lot on my website, my entire brand of Earth is School is about training people on how to live a life of ease, like how to let go and create the life that you want, quantum creating. And you do this by understanding that there is never a time that you're not manifesting. Therefore, you might as well just change the way you feel. That is how you manifest because whatever you feel, however you are feeling, is what you are manifesting. However you are feeling and however you respond to things every single moment is creating the next moment for you. You know this already. I'm never saying anything that you don't know because the things that I am sharing are things that we all know. They're things that your higher self is always tapping in and telling you. It's things that you were probably teaching in another realm. So I'm never saying anything that's brand new. I'm just reminding you of what you forgot. So are these services you offer only available in Senegal? No, that's a good question. Most of my clients are virtual. Most of them are in Europe, in the States, in other countries here in Africa. Yeah, I almost prefer that so that there's no like distraction and people can feel really comfortable like in their bed, in their space. I put my cash up, y'all, because somebody asked. Okay, so don't be thinking I'm like Pay me, you know. I'm not against you sending me money. I'm just saying. But please let me know if you guys have any questions. For those of you who missed it, I just really needed to come on here and explain what I do. I am just really being called to do that. And yeah, guys, I'm just gonna try and challenge myself to put it out there more. My clients are always like, I have a lot of clients from YouTube, and they be like, why have I been subscribed to your channel for all these years and you never say anything about it? Like, you never said that you could change my life. Like, you never said that. Like, oh my God. I'm like, I know. I just want it to happen quietly. I don't want to be overwhelmed with a bunch of different energies, you know? Let me know if you have any questions. Let me see about anything on my Facebook. I'm going live on my Facebook too. So I'm so sorry if y'all on my Facebook are leaving comments and I'm not seeing it. I'm sorry, because Facebook is weird like that. And then it's not until I get off the live and then all these comments come through. So I'm not ignoring you. LaDonna, hey, hey. Let me know if y'all have any questions. I think I'm gonna end this live here soon. You can visit my website, Earth is School, if you feel like, if you feel it in your heart, literally. It sounds so corny, guys, but I want people to feel it. It just makes it really easy for me. I'm surprised I don't have my website on here. It just makes it really easy for me when people are like, I felt the pull, I felt like I needed to reach out to you, because then I know that like source is orchestrating this. Like there's no one forcing this. Hold on, let me put my website. Hmm. But I feel like I really needed to clarify that this is not meditation. If I could just do some simple meditation and make people go into other lives and have them speak into their deceased loved ones, their soul team, if I can do meditation and just real simple meditation, like a quick little meditation, and and have someone heal something from their, disease or conditions, um, to have a woman have a birth that is shorter than we think that labor is supposed to be so long, and a birth that is not painful, completely not painful. I have to say this, like, I've been through so many years of even birth workers like just not getting this, and I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. You guys know my birth video. We hired a videographer to come in from a different city to record my birth. And this man thought he was recording and was taking pictures the whole time. He got nothing. I have this much footage of my birth. Now, I did record a little bit. I wanted for the lights to go off eventually, so there's a time frame that you don't get to see the birth. You get to see some of the labor from my perspective, from my camera. But I knew right away why this happened like this, because my guides know that I don't like to talk about myself. I just like to feel it and just live. If you know me and you've been down with me for a minute, you know that Daylight is just doing what the fuck she want to do. You know that I am not trying like, oh, I don't want to post so much. Oh, the algorithm. Oh, let me show up like this. Let me do that. I'm just really just here. I just want to like homeschool my kids and be happy. Like, I'm not trying to do anything or trying not to do anything. So, so it's just one of those things where that's just how I'm showing up. That's just really what it is. And I think that a lot of people who've been with me for a long time know that. I have to stand grounded on like who I am and how I'm showing up, because you don't have to have a big high celebrity status for people to like project what they want you to be and to like try to control you. Like the emails I get, the messages I get, oh, you should do this. Oh, you're supposed to be doing this. Oh, you're not supposed to. I can't believe you're doing that. Oh my God, someone told me the other day, I wouldn't expect that from you. Block, you should have no expectations from me. You are not my mom or my dad. You should have this many expectations of me. I'm not your mother. You're not my child. Don't be having no expectations about me. I don't like that. I don't like for people to try to put me into a box. I'm actually very passionate about not doing that. And I'm just so unapologetic. I just don't care. If you feel like I'm being dramatic about it, you just don't know then. You just don't know how frustrating that can be for a soul that is so free. My parents don't do that to me. So why are you doing that? Why are you having expectations of me? Like if my own parents don't. Yes, that is it. He said, so your services are life changing. That is it. I almost like what I wish that I can say is that this is like a life changing session, or like I wish I could just call it that and then that be it. Or like when people ask me what I do, I wish I could just say I change people's lives. But that sounds really cocky and people go a whole nother way with that. But I really wish that I can just say I change people's lives. That's it. I don't have to do all the other all the other explaining. Yes, definitely message me if you're interested. But I'm okay. I'm okay with this. I had an experience earlier. Someone wants to hire me for a retreat, and I just know that I had this experience so that I can get on here and do this, and I can just keep on doing it and not stop, because I be stopping. Because again, I don't like talking about myself. So it was just, to make a long story short, there was just some real like misunderstandings about what I do. And this is normal. It doesn't happen often, but it happens too much to me. Like, I mean, like in my opinion, it happens too much. And I think it happens too much because I have a website. Like if I send you my website, go to it. Like if you're gonna hire me for something, you need to know like who you're hiring. You need to like do your research, because you don't know like what level someone is on. You don't know like how they're coming through. You don't know. And I'm realizing that when I'm saying to people, my guides are telling me this, or I'm an intuitive coach, I'm realizing that that shit is not clicking. Like, how is that not clicking? Like, I don't want to say medium. I don't want to say psychic. How does it not click if I say I'm an intuitive coach? I'm using my intuition. Why do I have to label myself? Like, so, but I also understand that I don't talk about it enough. So I'm not, it's no one's fault, except for mine, I guess. So that's the thing, like this person said, you need exposure so you can get clients. I might not want all that exposure because it's a lot of energy. That's literally what I'm explaining. It's like there are people out here that's doing this work, y'all. And I'm not gonna say like they're not deep, they're not spiritual, because technically everybody is. It don't matter what your belief is, you're a spiritual being. It don't matter if you don't even agree with that. You are spiritual, you are a psychic. But there's levels to this. There are people that there's just levels. Like it just depends on what type of clair you are, claircognate, clairvoyance. Like it depends on what your journey is. And I am super sensitive. I am super open. I am super can hear your thoughts. So I don't always want like, I don't want a bunch of clients. I don't want a bunch of random people that just like want my service because they want to know what's happening next in their life. Like that's just it. Like they just want to know. Like it's like there's this hungry thing of like people that get readings, and it's like I'm the kind of psychic. When I do readings for people, I'm very the way I start off my reading is I let people know that unless my guides are really pushing me to tell you something in your future, I'm not going to mention it. I've talked about this before. There is a real like spiritual immaturity of readers where when you are a reader and source is telling you to tell somebody something, source is also telling you don't mention that part, don't mention that part. So we're not supposed to be telling people like when they're going to die and like your divorce is going to happen at this time, or you're going to like just certain things, because what happens is a person starts to um become paranoid. And if you guys are, if you've gotten readings, then you know this already. You, if you can pay attention to yourself and how you feel after you get a reading, a lot of times you will either obsess because you want for what they said to happen, so you'll be looking for it. You're like, oh my God, where's my man at? Where's my so and so at? Or you'll do the opposite where you don't want what they said to happen, and so you're creating resistance and you're trying to avoid it. So there's a real like spiritual immaturity that takes place, but we're talking about real spiritual work. We got energy, like we got trauma, we got stuff on us. You know, one of my sessions that I shared on my YouTube channel, she had a spirit attachment. I had to detach the spirit from her. It's a real thing, so I can feel those things, and I just don't want, I want people that are open and accepting and that respect what I do, and that I don't have to like convince you that this is real, even if you don't understand it. I don't want to have to convince you that this is deep and that this can do this and this can do that. That's not how this is supposed to work. You're supposed to catch me wherever you catch me, whether that's on my Instagram, my YouTube, my website, whatever. And you're supposed to feel like this is what you want if that's what you want. And if you don't want that, I don't want you coming to me because you're like on the surface level and you just want to know like where the money at. Because I'm going to explain to you that you're not going to get that money until you release that. I want for my clients to leave me knowing that you are the source, that you don't have to come to me every week and every month. You need to tap into yourself and you need to get the answers yourself. I show you how to do that. So it's not a matter of exposure. Exposure would be too much for me, honestly. I would be overwhelmed and I would shut down. But I think that there's going to be a time when I'll be able to handle, a large scale of exposure, but I just have to work my way up to that because it's just a lot. It's energy is a lot, guys. I don't be capping on here when I'm saying what I'm saying. Like, I don't even know how else to put it, but energy is a lot. I've talked about doing readings when I first started doing this and having anxiety attacks. And if we really want to get real, a lot of people who are, I guess I'm supposed to censor this word. How do I censor this word? A lot of people who have thoughts of unaliving themselves, a lot of people who end up doing that, a lot of people who end up in a psych ward are people that were psychic, are people that are highly intuitive, and that's how they end up there. That's how they end up in that position because they don't know that they're picking up on all these energies. People are dealing with sexual trauma and PTSD from the military. And I mean, I could just go on and naming the different things that we're dealing with, depression, sadness. And so when you are someone who is truly like, you're for real, like this is like you, like you didn't try to do this. You didn't go to like a psychic training class and try to learn how to be a psychic. You're open until you learn how to protect yourself. This journey is not easy. A lot of you guys watching this are psychic. A lot of you guys watching this are super empaths, super psychics. You be dealing with anxiety. You be having mixed feelings. One minute you're depressed, the next minute you're happy. And you're not even connecting the dots that you're supposed to protect yourself because you're not supposed to be stepping outside of your room and even interacting with your children, let alone the world, without protecting yourself from all the energies that are going to come into you. And I understand I have to be patient with this information because we don't understand really, like we talk about energy. I know y'all know energy, like we know frequency, we talk about it, but we're still like, we're in a realm where things are so dense and we have like constant amnesia, delusion and amnesia. So so we can talk about it all day, but do you really believe that though? Like you keep saying like, I don't know why I have this anxiety, but are you doing something to change the anxiety? Are you really connecting the dots that when you go into crowds, it's fucking with your mood. And it messing with your mood is messing with your respond to things. And that is affecting the way that you respond to your spouse and your children and life surprises. And all of this is just because you're a psychic. Yeah, that's happening for a lot of you guys. So it's just really real, y'all. It's not an easy life. It's getting easier and easier, when you evolve and you understand and you're really doing the work, but it's not easy. I really need for things to be personal for me right now. I need, like, all my clients, we have a relationship. Every client, whether it's a birth work thing or I coach them and we ended up doing the session, it's a very personal relationship. And I know I can't have that with like a million people, but maybe I can have the feeling of that or something, because I don't like on the surface stuff. So I just don't know. That's just where I am right now. It could change, I guess. But I'm not doing it for the money. I'm not doing it for the what do you call it? I don't want to go viral. I've already been viral before, but I can't pay my rent with virals. So not only can I not pay my rent with virals, but somebody may say, yeah, but you can go viral and you can get more people. Yeah, but if this is a bunch of like chaotic energy and people are just like, oh, she looks good, so I want to do a session with her. Or, oh, I'm doing this, like, I'm gonna get all that. Like, I'm gonna feel that energy, that pull of all of that. And if you got a bunch of ego, like if I gotta get on the phone with you and like debate you because what I'm telling you, you didn't even really believe this. You're just like, it's just a lie. I just want genuine clients and genuine connections. And that's what I have gotten. I do believe I can create that for myself because that is what I've gotten. That is what I've been getting. This is so good. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that, Alsani. Alsani, is that right? You are teaching me a lot about myself. I love that. That's what this is about. I don't want to, like, of course, I got to pay my rent. So, of course, I would like for you to come back, but I don't really like, I'm not like, ooh, like, I want this person. How can I find a way to make this person come back? How can I find a way to make this person leave me and really understand that you are a soul having a human experience, and that it sounds so corny, but the power is within you. The answer is within you. I'm really doing what I'm told to do. I did not wake up one day and say, I want to start doing readings. I want to start taking people into past lives. I was so much in denial about all of this, you guys. I was running from it. I got one of my closest friends, shout out to Jennifer. Jennifer is a dope ass psychic. She sees dead people all the time. They're always following her home. And just to kind of give y'all, like, Jennifer is deep. And for the last 3 years, Jennifer been like, Dayla, if you don't start doing readings, if you don't tell these people about what you are and who you are, and I just like, I'm not doing that. I'm not saying nothing. So it hasn't been what people would probably think, because we're in this world now where, like, everybody on TikTok is a reader and a tarot card reader and all this stuff. Like, I just be wanting to have fun. That's what I want. I just be wanting to laugh and just enjoy my life. I don't want to do things that are not easy. This is easy. This is some of the most easiest things I do because I didn't try to do it. It just came to me. But I mean, in the sense of me, like, trying to like push myself and get the marketing right and get the algorithm together. And like, I don't even look at my subscriber count anymore. I upload a video, I don't even look at the likes or the views. I don't even care. It's just is what it is. I have been completely disconnected from that. So right here, you can message me through my website, earthisschool.com. You can also email me too. Let me get my email. Mm, I'm supposed to already have these in here, but I don't know where they are. Okay, so let me put in my email, y'all. That's weird. It's supposed to be here. De La Soul. What is my email? It's De La Soul. What's my email? It is. Oh, I know. I think it's Daylight at Earth is School. Okay, I don't know. I'm sorry. Let me just give y'all my other email then. I do have that available. But also, if you message me on my website, I have a little message thing that pops up. Let me look at my email right quick for real, because now it's bothering me. Oh, I'm sorry if you've been messaging. I mean, if you've been commenting on Facebook, I can't see you. We are the Walking Truth. We have a lot in common. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, D. I appreciate you. Y'all, what is my email? This is ridiculous. I haven't given my email in a long time. It is like Daylight So at Earth is School. It is like Daylight Earth is School. I don't even know. Oh, I think I just realized on Facebook, y'all can't even see that, right? Can y'all see my email on the screen? These people gotta tell me what my email is. Daylight at earthisschool.com. I'm gonna say that's it. Let me email myself right quick. I feel like my email is daylight at earthisschool.com. But if not, you can definitely email me on that one. Oil, indigo. If you go to earthisschool.com, if you go to my website, then the message comes up there too. A little messenger option. Okay, yay, that's it. Yes, okay. Let me put it up here. um, Earth is school. I mean, no, Daylight Earth is school. I know y'all can spell, but I just want to put it since that was a question. Daylight at Earth is school.com. I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. I love you guys. Earth, okay, Daylight at earthisschool.com. That's it. Boom. Bam. There we go. So let me put it in my Facebook thing. If y'all can't see it, maybe I'll put it in the comments. Daylight at earthisschool.com. And then my website is earthisschool.com. All right, let me know if y'all have any questions. We're going to get out of here. Simple life, exactly. I'm telling y'all, like, no cap. I don't know why. I don't know if this is just like, obviously, this is what my guides was like. You come in here to teach a simple life because I'm so simple. I was raised by a man, okay? My father raised me the first half of my life, and men are very simple. So I don't think that was a coincidence. I think I was supposed to be raised by a simple man for the first half of my life because I just came here to teach the life of ease, you know? My mom, for my birthday in September, the end of September, she was telling me the story of my birth. And she was like, she's had 5 children total. And she was like, Daylight was my most simple birth. She was like, she was the most easiest birth. She just came right out. And I said, of course, this makes perfect sense because I like simple shit. I don't do a bunch of categories and stuff. I just had to explain that to someone earlier. Like, they're like, okay, is this the what you call it? Is this your training? Is this what you do? Is it this? Is that? It's just all one thing, girl. It's one thing. It's just me, girl. It's just here. Like, I don't do that. You know, this system that we are in, it's always separating things. Like, science actually is math. It should never be separated. Chorus is art, is PE, is like, it's all the same thing. It should never be separated. We should have had like 3 subjects in school and they all are one thing. But we live in a world where things are purposely made difficult. We have all these categories and all these different, like, don't even get me started because what we're doing with the labels right now is like, it's killing me, y'all. Like, everybody's ADHD, everybody is ADD, everybody is neurodivergent. Now you guys are calling yourself autistic. I'm seeing a lot of stuff about people being like, we're not even able to like just let autism be autism now. Like, now you're like autistic with a twist of ADHD and some other stuff. Like, I'm like, what is all these labels? This is not who your inner self is. Your inner self doesn't have any of this. Humans are just really trying to understand. This is why we have categories and labels, because we're trying to understand things, you know, and we do it with judgment. So we have to be like, this is that, and you can't be that if you're this, and if you're that, and if you're, you know, like, I think one of the biggest challenges, way before I even, like, what is a spiritual journey? Because the journey is just like your journey, like your whole journey is spiritual because you're a spiritual being. But way before I like awaken, I went through my awakening in 2012, I guess you could say. um, I had a big challenge with being who I really am, which was like a mom who was working in the corporate space, who also have been modeling my whole life. My father put me on the runway when I could barely even walk. And I was like, really, I remember really battling with like, how do I be a sexy mom and then be a Christian and then be a dancer mom and then be like all these different labels, and it just frustrated me because I was just like, I'm not one thing. None of you guys are one thing. I know we try to act like this is like a really unique thing, but all you guys are more than one thing. All of you guys have hobbies and certain things that are total opposite and like way to the left with the other thing, you know. I am someone who is you know, this psychic medium coach who takes people into past lives, who also uh be twerking on Sundays. Like I'm also dancing in music videos, you know, like a completely different situation, you know? And people see this and they're just like, there's no way you can be all these things. You got to put it under one. I'm not that person. I really don't think that we're supposed to do that, guys. I hate to break it down to you, but that's impossible to do. Like, you didn't come here. Some of us are multi hyphernites. So that's another level. I am definitely a multi hyphenite. That means that you do a gazillion things. You have a lot of different talents. So that is the thing. I'll have to do another video on a multi hyphenite. I feel like two labels that people need to know if you are. You need to know if you are an empath, and you need to know if you're a multi hyphenite. Because the life of an empath or a multi hyphenite or an empath multi hyphenite is not easy. You have a lot of distractions, and you're just, you feel like you're being pulled in every which way until you get it together, until you know like what you are, who you are. So yeah, but I think that's a big thing. And I also think that a lot of people battle with the same thing that I was battling with, you know, 12, 13 years ago. Like, how do you be this super deep person but still work in the corporate world? Or how do you, you know, do pole dancing because you love pole dancing and it's a great exercise, but then you're also, you know, I don't know, teaching kids or something. Like, you know, we're constantly battling this thing because we've been taught that everything is separate. This illusion of separation that source is really asking for us to get out of, it's real. We have this illusion that we're separated from each other. How could it be that we are separate from each other if you believe in telepathy? How can it be that you can say, "Oh, I was just thinking of you," and then you just popped up, or this person I was just thinking of just called me? That's because y'all not separate. You guys are not. We're not separate. None of us are. Have you ever had a thought, like an idea, like an invention, and it's like so new? You're like, there's no way anybody thought about this. You're like, absolutely not. I am the first individual to think about this. There is no way this can happen. That anybody can think about this. And then all of a sudden you find somebody online or someone that you know, and they just started thinking about the same thing. Like, now they got the idea and they got the thought. And sometimes they're actually putting the action to it and making it a thing. Have that ever happened to y'all? That's because our consciousness is all in this one, like, realm. I don't know, like this one ball of energy, and we're actually all together. There is only one race. It is the human race. There's no separation for real. But we did come here to feel separation. We did come here to purposely feel the illusion of it so that we can find ourselves to oneness. if that makes sense. Okay, y'all, we gotta stop. I'm gonna keep on talking. So let me know if y'all have any questions. Let me check these. Hey Toby, what's up? Let me check these messages these comments real quick. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Share this live if you feel like it was helpful. Please go back and watch it if you're at the end, because I broke down what I do. I broke down me taking people into other lives and speaking to their deceased loved ones and how that works and how phenomenal that is. I'm going to be talking about this a lot more often. And I broke down a lot of other shit. Okay, you guys. I appreciate you. And until next time, thank you for rolling. What is this? Peace out.